Hi guys, my name is Ciel Ortega and I'm a third-year student here at Emory Law from Las Cruces, New Mexico. Over the past few years, I've been in charge of giving student tours here, and we know it's a little bit different, but because you can't visit us, we wanted to make sure you'd still have the opportunity to experience everything that Emory Law is all about. We actually shot some of this tour already, which is why some of the footage you'll see looks a little bit different. Okay, on with the tour. I love life here at Emory. We have a beautiful campus full of beautiful buildings and green spaces everywhere. It's really a great place to be, especially for those moments where you just need to step outside the law school and get a little bit of fresh air. So the law school is split into 3 different floors. The first floor you'll typically spend most of your time on as a first year, but also it's where most of student life happens. On the first floor we have our major classrooms, a few places to eat, and also student commons. Because of this, the first floor is usually where you'll spend your time hanging out with your friends or just doing some work between classes. Right outside of student commons is where we have Bacardi Plaza, the central hub of all student life here at Emory Law. Every Thursday, the Student Bar Association and a different student organization will put on what we call recess, which sounds fun, and it's even better than you think. The Student Bar Association will provide drinks, food, and it's a great way to kick off your weekend with your friends. First year classes are held in the 3 major identical classrooms on the first floor. There's stadium seating, plugs for every seat, and a whiteboard and projector screen. The acoustics in here are also engineered to be excellent, so even if you're in the back row, you'll have no trouble hearing the professor. Right outside these major classrooms are our lockers. You might not think that much about lockers anymore, but they're really handy as a first year student, and they're free of charge. Right around the corner from our awards display is our mock courtroom. As you can see, it's set up just like a real courtroom. One of the opportunities that you'll get as a 2L is to do the trial techniques program. It's an intensive 10-day program that happens right after you finish finals your second year. We get faculty from all across the country, including the year I did it, we had a judge from the Third Circuit Court of Appeals, and also the person who ran my section was actually nominated to the Northern District of Georgia about 2 weeks after we finished. So you get great experience, great attorneys from across the country, not just from Atlanta, and then these great networking opportunities, which of course, we're all in law school to get a job. It's incredibly important. The last part of our community that really makes Emory Law special is the support that students receive from faculty and staff. Any questions you have, be it career services, class registration, or just personal guidance, there's someone there to talk to. On top of that, our faculty really takes an interest in the lives of their students. I've personally had several faculty members who have taken an interest in me and becoming my mentor and helping me succeed both career-wise and also just personally. Outside of our student community, one of my favorite things about Emory Law is our location. The city of Atlanta offers excellent opportunities for experiential learning in any field of law you might be interested in. If you're interested in corporate law, the city of Atlanta has the 3rd largest concentration of Fortune 500 companies in the country, giving us plenty of great opportunities to be externs. Coca-Cola, Home Depot, Mercedes-Benz USA, Porsche, and AT&T have all either taken externs from Emory Law or hired us after graduation. If you want to work in public interest law, Atlanta houses many governmental agencies, as well as legal nonprofits and the judiciary. On the federal side, we have the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals and the North District of Georgia. On the state side, we have 12 different counties that make up the Atlanta metro region, where you have the opportunity to work on both the prosecutor side and the public defenders. In addition, Emory Law offers numerous clinics, both faculty-led and student-led. On the faculty-led side, we have an environmental law clinic, child welfare and advocacy, and international humanitarian law. Our student-led clinics offer pro bono opportunities in veteran affairs, LGBTQ issues, immigrant legal services, and refugee assistance. The main reason you'd be on this floor is mainly as event space. So both Hunter Atrium, which happens to be this room we're standing in, and also Tool Auditorium, which is through these doors, are major event spaces for any events we have here at Emory Law, including orientation, if you do end up matriculating here, or some of the major events we do throughout the year. Those would be the EPIC, the Emory Public Interest Committee Conference, or any of the conferences that are put on by the journals throughout the semester. Since I moved here from 2,000 miles away, it was really important for me to be able to establish roots here at Emory Law. And to do that, I've really taken advantage of our different student organizations, such as the Latin American Law Students Association and the Environmental Law Practice Society. The great thing about our student groups here on campus is that they're less about being interested in one field of law and more about building the community and kinship that you really want to have at a law school. Because of this, I've been able to develop close relationships and great friendships with almost everyone I've been able to meet in these student organizations. Finally, we're here on the 5th floor. So, quick overview again of the 5th floor. It's mainly where all the faculty space is, but there's also 2 main student hallways, and each student hallway is themed. This hallway's theme is distinguished alumni. So people who came here became great lawyers, law professors, attorneys, judges, even just great business people or people who made a big impact on social change and social justice. All right, so here we are in the 2nd hallway. As you can see, all along the walls are different books that our faculty has published. One that I always like to highlight is right over here, Civil Procedure by Professor Freer. Freer is a very well-known professor. Even if you don't end up coming to Emory, you'll probably hear from or learn some from Freer. But if you do come here, you get the opportunity to take them both for civil procedure and for complex litigation, which is in essence civil procedure 2. Really recommend if you do end up coming here trying to take his class. He's an awesome professor. I actually have him right now. Another part of the building you might be spending a lot of time in is the law library. The law library is made up of 5 different floors, and much like the law school, each floor has its own space and utility. The 1st floor houses our legal writing offices. This is where you'll spend a lot of your time as a first year in your legal writing classes trying to work out those memos and briefs. On the 2nd floor is the reference desk and the home of the fun in the library. This is where we have all the movies you can check out, the puzzle, a chessboard, and nonfiction books. On top of that, the research librarians want to make sure that you have everything you need to succeed in law school. So behind the reference desk, you'll find outlines for every class you might need in law school, and the research librarians, who are all dual degreed with a JD and a Master in Library Science, and about half of them have spent time practicing law before coming to work at Emory Law. On the rest of the 2nd floor, you'll find group study space, the computer lab, and all our library and printing services. The 3rd and 4th floors make up the bulk of our study area. These are whisper-only floors and include the silent study room on the 3rd floor. Finally, the 5th floor is administrative offices, and you'll probably rarely find yourself there as a student. Off campus, Atlanta has a lot to offer. Emory Village is right off campus, as is Emory Point, right across the street from CDC headquarters. When you're ready to venture a little bit further out, downtown Decatur is minutes away, as is Ponce City Market and the Atlanta Beltline, and even downtown Atlanta, which is less than 15 minutes from campus. Atlanta is known as a city in the forest and is full of beautiful parks and tree-lined neighborhoods. It's also home to excellent museums and historical landmarks, such as Martin Luther King Jr.'s childhood home, the MLK Center for Nonviolent Social Change, the Center for Civil and Human Rights, and the Carter Center, which is dedicated to social change worldwide. Finally, Atlanta has every major sport covered, with the Braves, Falcons, Hawks, Dream, and Atlanta United all calling this city home. So that's the tour. I hope you've got an opportunity to see what makes life here at Emory Law so special. From our excellent faculty, to our close-knit community, to our amazing experiential learning opportunities, it's all here at Emory Law. Thank you again for joining us for this virtual tour, and we hope you'll all join us in the fall.